It's us, your two favourite YouTube assholes. No, not David and Nigel. David and Nick Bundy in a YouTube collab. Nick, that beard transplant is working rather marvellously for you, I must say.
Yes, I think it's aged me quite well.
Indeed, with your new moustaches, you don't look 18 anymore at all.
No, I look much older now. Look, it's even coming in grey.
Marvellous.
Lovely.
And it's probably done something to your pubes as well.
No, I had nothing transplanted there.
Just a joke. It's not really Nick, of course. It is Nigel under there.
Yeah, surprise!
We're just being wags as usual. Yeah, something beginning with W anyway. Right, enough of this tomfoolery. We've got to go and do some electrical work on something for this video.
Let's go.
Am I keeping you awake?
Yeah.
God, he looks older, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And not wiser. You know what's scary? Is that we're back at the Manor House, and it was 2019 when we first came here, and now it's the future. It's 2023. 2023, we're back here again. I don't think we did any work here at all in 22, did we? If we did, it wouldn't have been much. Last thing I remember doing here was pulling in the missing gas bonding, which was a bit of an effort. I don't think we recorded that on camera at all, but yeah, we had to pull that from the front of the house to the back via the route that runs, fortunately, runs underneath it.
Yeah, it was still a pain to bloody rod through front to back.
But I don't think we've really, like I say, done anything since 21. How does that feel like it was so long ago, and yet it shouldn't be? Yeah.
Life is just whizzing by.
I know, we're going to be fucking dead soon.
Yes, yeah.
And then what are you going to watch on YouTube?
Joel rerun.
Yeah. Watch some of these young Turks who have plenty of vim and vigour and spunk left in them.
Yeah.
Unlike us old boys.
Yep.
Yeah, we're spunkless these days, aren't we, Nige? Probably. Right, if you grab the laptop, I'll decamp from the van. Oh, a key would be useful. Now you may well ask, why are we back here after all this time, and what can there be left to do? We saw a good refurb of this. Oh, Nigel's just releasing his gas. Oh look, they must have known we were coming. They left the Stella out for us. Tell you what, that's rather foolish, isn't it? I'm going to have them away. The only thing that's left, should we go around the back? Let's unlock the front.
The back won't be open.
I was just going to say to look at
Is
the...
it already unlocked?
How does this work?
Do you want me to? I got...
This could be a very short visit to the Manor House because we may not have a key to get in and there's nobody here today. Beautiful day. End of January.
Maybe this keeps for another door.
Yeah, should we go and try around the back and have a look? Don't forget that laptop. Last day of January and the sun is out. It's been a cold winter and an expensive one at today's energy prices. But the thing we're doing here now, next, the next plan, the final plan, is the kitchen. Oh, that's Hillary's handiwork.
Oh.
She's currently away in Nicaragua, of all places. She's got another house over there. This is the kitchen from the outside. This low-story extension. And this really is going to be a short visit then, isn't it? Because we can't get in.
One more door.
This is to be demolished. And is going to be replaced with, it's got to be the front door.
It fits, but it doesn't turn.
You have another crack at the front door, I'll just have a waffle on the camera here. So, this whole kitchen piece here, which isn't part of the original house, you can see it's added on after the fact. We think perhaps around the 80s or something. I'm sure someone said, well, let's go in, boy. And a big sort of glass box is going to be put in its place with Velux windows, and it's going to look modern. Is it in character with the building? I don't know. It's past planning anyway, so that's okay. I think we might have to message them here and say, we're kind of stuck, mate.
That's the one.
Access has been granted now that I've realised that I'd given Nigel the wrong key in the first place. It's not that key. I don't even know what that key's for. So we are in. Let's have a look at what's going on in here.
There's one cupboard there.
Oh, so that hasn't changed since Sunday when I last looked at it. This is the current kitchen, which has always been a bit of a disaster for them. You can see the ceiling's fucked. The JCC-FG LED downlights have all done what JCC-FG LED downlights do, which is to fucking fail. They're useless. Useless. That's why we don't touch JCC, because of that product. What else we got in here? He's taken down the undercab lighting, or pulled it off anyway, to reveal some true kitchen fitter tomfoolery.
Just take that off.
Yeah, we got the same going on over here. How do you know a kitchen fitter's done your electrics? Because the CPC's cut off and you've got a load of taped shit. Every time. Every time. So we got live wires hanging out the wall there. That's nice, isn't it?
Yes. Well, they'll only be live switches.
Now, my understanding when I came and looked at this on Sunday, because I only got notice that this work was happening on Saturday, is that this kitchen was in the process of being removed, and one cupboard's come down, but I see no further removal. And I think we're just going to have to do a bit of familiarisation today, because we're going to fire up the laptop. Obviously, it's 2019 we did the EICR, and we've done an EIC since, as we changed the board and everything. But I can't remember offhand what circuit serves these outlets and whether it serves elsewhere in the house. So that's something that we need to refamiliarise ourselves with. Similarly, these live wires hanging out the wall here, are they off an FCU? There's an FCU over there. Or are they off the lighting circuit, in which case, which lighting circuit? Another problem we've got is in the utility room here, all this is being knocked down, all this, including this doorway here, which used to lead into the WC. That's now all been blocked off. The WC has been redone. This wall's coming out. This wall where our consumer unit is going to stay, but our consumer unit, as you may recall from our earlier videos, was kind of just thrown against that wall in a temporary fashion, which is why it looks so awful. The idea being that eventually this wall's going to get battened out to hide any pipes, hide any cables, with neaten it all up. But in the meantime, the fucking roof's going to be taken off, and we've got a consumer unit that's sat here. So we're going to have to speak to the builder about some kind of...
We've left a load of cable up there for moving this, haven't we?
Yeah, we left a load of slack on the cables so that we had the option to relocate it around and about and that sort of stuff. The feed to Hillary's potting shed, which we never showed on video, that was something we put in a couple of years ago. That's an armoured cable that's coming down here into this storm gland. But that passes through the attic. And of course, that's going to get knocked down. So we're going to have to disconnect that at some stage, so that the potting shed no longer has power and the cable's back outside. And then when they relay the floor, they can lose the cable within the concrete or whatever, just lose it. I've been talking to them about getting some duct work perhaps put in so that things can be pulled through accordingly. Well, we came, we saw, and we're going to bugger off. That's a very interesting opening to this particular video, isn't it, Nigel?
No.
No. We just need to refamiliarise ourselves with what goes where, but until the builder tells us what his expectations and schedule are, it's very difficult for us to know quite what we're doing and when, which is a bit annoying because it's very hard to book one's diary out if one doesn't know when one is needed.
Well, that's builders for you.
It is, yes. So it's all very well the builder starting tomorrow, but we don't know if he's going to turn up and say, yes, I need you right now, lads, to get this stuff isolated so that I can work around it, or if he's going to say, nah, it'll be another month before we do anything in here, mate. Just don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out. This socket circuit in here also serves part of elsewhere in the building, which we're going to want to retain. So we're talking about splitting the ring, as it is a ring circuit, above us here, and rejoining it after cutting out the kitchen and utility area. We've also been looking at lighting. Quite interesting, these lighting points, in that obviously that's not chased into the wall, is it? They must have gone through the other side or something. It's the same with this one over here. But there's no way we're going to get new lighting drops in here now. So we're looking at perhaps some kinetic solutions, because there's going to be more lighting points required. We're talking overhead lights, over island lights, over dining lights, under cabinet lights. Also been looking at this switch here. We'd forgotten about some of the horrors that go on here that we never got a chance to refurbish, because we didn't refurbish the whole place. We found that this dimmer, we were reminded that this dimmer actually passes through here and sends a switch line up to the light in there, which is what that cable is doing. It doesn't send the neutral, so this is getting its neutral from somewhere else. So that's something else that we weren't able to do anything with at the time of the EICR back in 2019, because what can you do? It's not like we can start pulling down ceilings or ripping up hardwood floors to fix something like that. But now we have an opportunity to fix something like that, because we've just been saying that cable is passing through into the void space above here, which is all going to get knocked down. So if we can get hold of that cable, we can potentially put it on a new supply. Although we never did do a full refurb of this place, it was always a case of dealing with it in a piecemeal fashion for the areas we were able to get our tools into and onto at the time. And this is just the last part of it now, I suppose, isn't it? Just getting into this area, which we couldn't do much with before, but we will have a blank canvas with to paint our delightful spooge onto.
You have a way with words, Dave.
Kitchen's gone. Nigel's up here. All right, Martian.
Savoury.
Oh, this looks salubrious.
That fucking cobwebs up me now.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, this is proper horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. We're going to be at that end. The majority of the cabling. There's a 2.5 going down there, and I'm not sure if it's coming back that way.
Obviously, our board is there. So, we want to cut out the kitchen. Where's my torch? Cut out the kitchen wiring, so we hopefully don't have to go too far down there, but the first point in the chain is probably going to be on the wall over there.
FCU over there, so
yeah,
over there.
So we can see that's 2.5 there, isn't it, that cable? There's a hole in the wall over there.
There is.
Which is obviously a legacy hole in the wall. It's got mains cables and TV aerial cables passing through it, so I don't know when you did that one, Nige. I'm not sure quite what the roof line of this new build is going to be. And there's dirty great fucking steel running through here. So I don't know whether this is going to end up being above the ceiling, behind, outside. I've got no idea. Yeah, there's obviously some render there. This was once an outside wall with a much smaller kitchen footprint by the looks of it.
It will be again temporarily.
Yeah. And then we've got a cascade of cables coming down here. All good fun, but we've got to spend our afternoon in this attic. Obviously, Nigel's not donned his PPE.
I have? Look, it's on my head.
Yes, well, where's all your mask and everything?
Where's yours?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We haven't got long left, do we?
No.
Something's going to finish us off. Booze, cigars, bad breath in your case.
Fishy breath at the moment.
Fucking hell. Ooh, have you been eating? But so yeah, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're young, then obviously
you should worry about it. Otherwise you'll end up fucked like us.
Yeah.
At least in this case, it doesn't matter if we fall through the ceiling today.
No, we could actually do that today.
We can do that.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Maybe it would be like some sort of crazy, exciting sport of some sort. We could do it deliberately.
I think we should probably do something, because otherwise we're just up
doing
here
nothing.
yakking. We've just been down the pub for an hour yakking, so
Yeah.
coming to an attic to do it.
If you get out of the way,
Yes,
I'll squeeze into that.
Well, I'll cut the power to this circuit, and then we can start taking it apart. Oh, look, at last, we get rid of things like this as well. This was a part of the house that we deliberately didn't do any work on, other than the fact that we did a basic EICR and found that electrically it was okay, apart from some shit junctions above the ceiling and that sort of stuff.
Jesus.
Obviously not worth us doing much on it at that time because it's all getting demolished now.
Belly down here.
Okay, now Nigel, whose bottom you can see hanging out of a hole there, has found the two ends of the ring circuit that was serving the kitchen, which is now a shell. Different to yesterday when we were here. All of that should be cut out now. These are the two ends that we want to retain that serve other parts of the house. And I've just done my ring end to ends and the numbers have come out okay. So Nigel's going to slap an 803 on there, aren't you, Mr. Marsh?
Mr. David.
Marvellous stuff. There it is. And hopefully I can go in then and decommission all the sockets downstream, which should now be dead forever. And then they can start knocking down walls and things. We've disconnected the sockets going out that way, but kept them out going out that way. Still got good ring numbers. Obviously lower than we had originally because it's less of a ring now. A shorter ring.
The ring has been told.
We've disconnected the armoured feed to the potting shed, and Nigel is about to pull that through because that goes all the way through the attic. We're going to pull that to the outside so that is out of our way. We've disconnected the old hob circuit. We've disconnected the lighting going out this way, but kept it going out that way. Everything out here should be dead. And once we've pulled that through, we can just start pulling out all these shit old JCC lights and accessories and stuff.
See, I've already pulled.
Oh yes, yes, you've taken the cleats out. So that's our feed to a building over there.
That's going under the path. We're just going to coil it up under the bush.
Yeah, for now they'll just have to do without power in the potting shed, which I'm sure is fine. As Nige says, that goes under the path. We never showed that being installed. That was something we did after the fact, some time ago. We're just going to pull that out of the attic space up there, leave it coiled. There's loads of slack on it because we knew that this day would come.
We did.
And indeed we are now coming.
Came a little bit too quick.
Well, it's about 2 years ago we put that in. How long does it take you to come?
So now it's come, we'll pull it out of the hole.
Indeed so. And yes, leave that coiled up. So in future times, it can go under the base of this thing. That's the old cooker circuit hanging around there, which we never put in. It's quite neatly clipped. There's an awful lot of clips there. They are upside down. And you wonder why they never bothered pulling that through the attic in the first place. Why go to the effort to do it all on the outside when you've got a fucking attic right above you? It does. It comes out of the attic, outside, and then back in. Yeah. Twats. Kitchen fitters. Jesus. It's all coming down in there.
Well, come on in. You get in there.
No, I've got to go back in the dusty bit of it.
And coil it, and I'll pull it.
You know you got cobwebs and leaves all over your hat.
I know. That's why I've got my hat on. It's my PPE. Told you.
Christ. Right. So got the Unilight set up. Not sponsored by Unilight. There's our armour snaking off over there. I'm going to have to try and crawl into this space. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, well, we're ready for him to tug his end off, but he doesn't seem to be at the moment. You know, I'll have to ring him when I tell him to get on with it. I haven't got our walkie-talkies with us today. On the van, but the van's a long way away. Oh, shit. Pull it, you cunt! There we go. Bye-bye. Well, our work here is done. All the electrics in the utility and kitchen are gone. We've got a live socket here for the broadband, and we put in a socket for contractors to use. They can't miss that. Fucking ceiling's gone, mates. The ceiling's gone and it reveals all sorts of joy and wonder. As in, I wonder who the fuck thought that was ever a good repair job. There may still be some live services going off to the living room through there, but anything that's not, we shall pull out and chuck into our bucket, ready for our recyclers to come and collect. Cash in the copper. Woo-hoo. Haven't seen Hillary yet, have we? She's back today. She must have seen our van on the drive and legged it. Can't blame her, I suppose. Here she is!
Hello.
Lady Shite! How was Nicaragua?
Warm.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock being back here then.
Are you filming?
I am, yes.
Oh,
Yeah. People like it when you talk dirty like that. Nigel's the dog whisperer. You carry dog treats in your pocket, don't you, Nigel?
I do.
They make for a tasty treat for all Nigel's canine pals and for himself when he gets a bit peckish halfway through the day.
I've never tasted them myself. I remember eating dog treats as a kid.
We're just popping in this morning. It's fucking brass monkeys this morning, isn't it, Nige? Oh, bit cold, bit icy. What are you doing, you mad old bag? The birds?
Nature, Dave.
Do you reckon we should get Nige on it, see if it'll take his weight? Nige, I'll give you £5 to have a skate on the ice.
In you go, Nige.
Okay, I'm feeding the fucking dog.
Dog biscuit.
He does.
That's probably why she's so fucking fat.
Yeah. They're your homemade birds there.
Yeah, those are my fighting cocks.
Very nice there.
An alien.
Oh yeah, is that like is that supposed to be like a hummingbird or something?
I don't know what it is.
Dragonfly.
Oh.
Just turned into that.
What was the intention when you started it?
A rabbit.
That is a rabbit.
Woo. Quite like the open air look. Top attic links down to what was the lower attic for the cabling. Someone's got to sort this mess out. Don't envy you that,
What
Nigel.
circuit is it? Same as the contractors?
No, that is separate, actually. Sockets, kitchen, utility, annex.
Yeah.
That's the one. Obviously check for safe isolation, Nigel.
Yeah, of course.
Nigel is just going to replace that Hager 803. Yeah, well done. With a whisker and a couple of glands, just to try and weatherproof that junction a little bit, because obviously everything is exposed to the world, aside from Nigel's underfruits. Don't want to see them. But it's going to be a flat roof on here. So what we're thinking of is to perhaps have a drain pipe acting as a duct, or that kind of thing, some kind of pipe work acting as a duct that cables can be brought down into on the outside of the building, the new structure, because we can't take them on the inside. They would still come out at the wrong place. And the inside's decorative, it's got hardwood floors and stuff, so we can't work with that, we can't cut them up. No easy means to take on the outside unless we use some kind of pipe or boxing solution, but so we're thinking pipe is perhaps the way forward. Let's have a climb up here. Fucking hell, this steel's cold. Oh, fucking hell. obviously the builder has also got to do something to enclose this before it next rains. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It's all interesting. It's all coming along. My understanding is that this is coming back by about 60 centimetres. So this will remain as a utility room below us. The kitchen will be enlarged. I'm not sure if it actually extends out any further than this. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I'm not sure. But basically a big glass box is what's going on, which is going to be interesting. The builder's not impressed. He doesn't believe it's particularly in keeping with the place, but what do any of us know? Yeah, so something's going to have to be done about all that shit. All this is going to have to... this spaghetti here is basically because when we relocated the board, we left a load of slack on all the circuits. And it was all sort of... Because it was a horrible loft work to work in, it was all done in a very... not very neat fashion. It was just chucked there under the knowledge that one day it would all have to come out again. But that one day felt like it was very far away at the time. And now it's kind of landing on us. And we're looking at it again, oh God. So all this has got to come out, get ducted through, be redressed, the slack cut out, the inspection and testing data repeated so that we can get a new certification for it. Because obviously it's going to have a big difference on the circuits. We've already cut out, for example, the lighting and power in here. So yeah, it's a lot to do on the to-do list. What was the kitchen is now going to be a greenhouse floor.
Certainly is.
And you're laying it all yourself?
I am. I'm doing it all myself. 3 tons of hardcore.
Hardcore, you know the score. Well, the big change since we were last here is that the steel is gone. Steel is sitting over there, and the footings have been dug out. They've had an architect here. It's a shame we missed the architect. I was rather hoping to catch the architect on camera. Archaeologist, I do beg your pardon. An archaeologist at, what do they say, 360 quid a day.
Yeah.
Who had to be on site for 3 days while this was dug out to make sure that no Roman hoards or whatever were uncovered. And he was just telling us what did they find? They found a
quarter of a tile with a dent in it.
yeah, and a bit of a pipe,
a bit of a crack pipe or something. Yeah,
and a bit of a cobbled path, which has since now been covered over again. So the archaeologist apparently was very excited. Yeah. I reckon we should chuck a couple of old coins down here.
Yeah, you should do.
And then call the archaeologist back. And that'll put the project on hold for a while, wouldn't it? This fucking mess here, obviously is our problem. We need to speak with the builder very shortly about what we're going to do with that. I don't know if I've said it before on camera, the general idea being a pipe down in the corner that will look like a drain pipe that contains all this, because the consumer unit's still in that kind of weatherproof box. But now weatherproof it is. Nothing's stripped off yet anyway. I think it looks worse than it is. It barks worse than it bites. We would just have to obviously get the power into each circuit, drag it all back, get it all through some kind of containment, back into the board, redressed properly. Had a few Carlsbergs with John Bagley last night. Shout out to John Bagley. And today my fart smell of boiled egg.
Yes, they're not nice.
Every time I drop one, a bit of fucking brown foam pops out as well. It's just, it's not right. But so Nigel's going to have a very pleasing day in the van. So we turned up today just to see what progress was. The fear is if you're on a building job like this and you don't turn up for a couple of weeks, that's...
The builder's done something.
Yeah, the builder's...
You either have to undo or work around.
Yeah, done something right in your fucking way. Yeah. And obviously, you know, people will say, well, it's up to you to make sure the job is properly project managed. Yeah, to a certain respect. We still need communication from the people we're working with. We haven't heard anything. We don't book too far ahead. Basically, our days are very reactive. We get out there and just deal with whoever's screaming. Which is a bad way to run a business. But to be honest, I'm sick of running the fucking business, and that's about as much planning as I'm going to do. Wake up and go, oh, fucking hell, my head, I've got a hangover, my farts stink, what am I going to do today? And then we get on the van, have a Greggs and figure it out.
Yeah, I've been there.
someone say tedious bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I was
did.
thinking
Just
it. I was
fired
thinking.
up the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, here we are on a lovely spring morning.
It is. Beautiful blue sky.
We have a steel construction, and today is the day that we've been dreading. It's the day where we have to relocate the consumer units and sort out the tangle
Oh, what a mess.
of the dangle. Look at this. I don't envy you your task today, Nige. I'm glad you're taking care of this. Okay, job number one. Let's get all this disconnected and then these all straightened out. If we bring the containment down in that corner. That corner? Oh, I
I was thinking we were going straight up where that is, down here.
maybe.
Where the cabling is, just straight down.
The thing is, you've got to get from one joist position into the next, haven't you?
In what sense? Can it just come into this one?
Yeah, well, your board's here, you fucking clown.
Yeah, but there's space up above here. It can come underneath to that one.
Oh, I see, yes.
And then over the top there, because there's space above.
Oh, I beg your pardon, yeah, that's quite straightforward. I withdraw my clown statement.
Yeah, that's not make things more complicated than they need to be.
No. This is one of those jobs that once you commit, you are committed.
Yeah.
Unless you really think, you know, I've had enough of this. And then
Let's do a run.
Never come back again.
They got a generator over
It
there.
might happen. Yeah, they might need that. Just wait for the all clear for power to be pulled, and then off we go.
Yeah.
Feels like a bit thrown against the wall, but it's all going to get faced off. You're not going to see it, so yeah, I spend too much time on it. Kitchen area, utility area. The nice thing about this thing is that because there's insulation already built into the roof, there's not going to be any further insulation going into these old here. So it's all going to remain open. Normally we're fighting behind cables. Yeah, after a builder's slung it all behind Celotex or whatever. Oh, that's really thick stuff. But on this job we don't even have to drill these joists either, because the board's going to go slap onto the bottom of there. And we've got lateral runs that way and that way. Lovely, lovely. Piece of piss will be done by lunchtime. I'm going to turn the camera off so we can do some work. And then maybe we'll turn it on again later. Maybe we won't.
Maybe.
Boring video.
Maybe not.
Boring. Oh, I tell you what, it's 10 to 12, so that's lunch. We haven't really got much on camera today. Marge hasn't done much. I don't know what he's pissing around at.
I'm looking at what you've done. I'm wondering what you're
I've been doing clever stuff. Because this is all going to get screeded off, we're having to run some cabling through a flexual conduit. We're going to have to get some more sexual flexual, aren't we, while we're out for lunch. Are you out to lunch,
What are we
Nigel?
going to use for that? We're going to use the smallest.
No, we'll use the ROM bar that's over there.
Right.
So that'd be a big fuck-off duct going into the island. A big fuck-off duct. Fuck off. Some time has been expended working out how on earth we're going to do the light switching.
Yes. We've got a brick wall,
Mm.
but we're not just going to run trunk in or
Yeah.
anything else.
We had all sorts of ideas, didn't we, about maybe surface mount galv trunking, conduit rather, or whatever. But because this is, well, the finished wall, so to speak, we can't chase anything in. There's a couple of shitty old services there that we can reutilise for one or two purposes, but mainly because it is such a nightmare with 3 switching positions throughout. We're thinking kinetic. We're thinking kinetic, aren't we?
Kinetic.
Grid switch, kinetic solution, modular. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, I like that.
The dining light is a bit of a complication because we don't know where the fuck it's going.
Yeah,
So you've had to rather messily just scrag in a long length of wire, which we can't clip to the thing. It's got to be left like that, because wherever we come to eventually drill a small hole to get a pendant up, we're going to have to get a hook in there, grab it and yank it down. So it's got to be movable.
The rest will just sit in the ceiling doing nothing.
Yep. It's new hat day. How about these new hats, eh, Martian? Oh, yes. You're right, you do look like a fucking truck driver. You're not into hats, are you, Nigel? Or at least not into baseball hats.
The baseball bats are for Americans. They seem to suit. But for British people, you're either some sort of chav or some sort of idiot if you wear a baseball cap.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. I take it you won't be sporting that then?
No.
Oh well. Sun gun in.
They suit you because you've got chavvy roots, I think.
Oh, I tell you what, all that flex conduit, that's going to give Nick Bundy a little bit of a cock twitch if he ever watches this nonsense. Speaking of Muppets and flex conduit,
The pain in the ass.
you know what a real man would do, Nigel? A real man would have rodded that through instead of trying to push it through like some kind of plinth.
You're not doing anything. People could have done
I'm
this
doing the
real fucking
important thing
quick.
of filming you making a fool of yourself. How goes the more straightforward aspect of the job, Nigel?
Straightforward, apart from the next drill busting.
Of course, I did suggest that you could just wrap the banding around so you only had to drill one hole. But no, because Nigel didn't come up with the idea. He's like, nope, I'm going to carry on doing it this way. Drill twice as many holes as I need to.
Right at the edge, I've done it over there. This ain't got away one of those stupid fucking hats.
I should sell these as merch.
Yes, you
I
should.
think anyone would buy one.
12 pence each.
I'm just jealous. There's always somebody with a fucking lawnmower or power tool or something on the front of the record, isn't there? And today's no exception. Right, so we have pretty much pulled in what we need to pull in. Obviously everything that Nigel's done looks like shit. I'll tell you what, having a grid on the ceiling makes it a lot easier to work out your downlight arrangement. If we start where I've put this mark here,
Okay.
in that cavity, miss out 2, and that's the next one. They're about 120 apart. There and there. And then if we go 120 this way, you can see some more marks on the wood here. So another 4 to go into that cavity. Another 4 into that cavity. It's a bit of a shame because the downlights aren't going to be in line with the lantern. But then, no, we're going to need something there, aren't we? Yeah, so you're going to have something in here. So the downlights will be on one side of the lantern, not in the middle, which might mess up somebody's feng shui, but no, our woodwork's going to get in the way anyway, so, you know, it is what it is. But that 120 spacing also nicely gets us into here for 2 more.
Is that going to continue into there?
No, it's going to be out of line, isn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Unless we... Tell you what, we won't put 2 in here. We'll just put the 1 in line with these.
Yeah.
But switched on with those. Because it's a separate space anyway. So yeah, I think just the 1 row in here, which I've already put in. So a bit of a job of work just to pull that cabling. We're going to have to make sure that cabling is continuous throughout, because there may be some parts of it that we're not going to gain access to because we won't be cutting the lights through. So we'll just do a big loop of cable for a 100-metre reel, fresh off the van. Are you fresh, Nigel? You don't smell it? Oh. Right, let's do it. Did you know a corrigendum to 18th edition Amendment 2 came out on Monday?
Yeah, you told me this morning.
I did tell you this morning, so you did know that. I haven't read it yet, I don't know what's in it. We are going to do our bit, according to what Amendment 2 says. Our bit of initial verification.
A little bit.
Yeah, using a tester. May as well use the Hioki. Never heard the Hioki made that noise before.
Line CPC, yeah?
Line CPC, okay. Yep, let go.
Yeah.
Duper? Super duper. Neutral CPC.
Okay.
Yeah. And line neutral. Eh? Right, switching to IR. So it doesn't take long necessarily. It's a bit of a pain in the arse when you've got to wire out any through connections. Line neutral. clear. Neutral CPC, clear. Line CPC, clear. Like I say, initial verification. So we know those cables are okay. Therefore, if they're not when we come back, it'll be the noisy builder's fault. Always looks really awful, doesn't it, first fix? Don't matter, I suppose, no one's ever going to see it. By the time we come back, next time you see us, it should all have been boarded. So next time we come, what's going to happen is we're going to look at this blank canvas that it will be, and we're going to shit our pants that there's some measurement we've missed and that we can't find where our fucking cables are. And the trouble with this sort of work is that you think, oh,
We'll find that.
another
It's a
week or
grid.
so, yeah, I'll remember where it is. Trouble is, it could be quite some lengthy time before we end up cutting these downlights, for example.
Yeah.
Because we've got to wait for it to be plastered and everything. We've got to wait for the windows to go in potentially before we do any first fix stuff.
They're a good old wait, aren't they?
It could be months away even. And sometimes you come back to a job, you reapproach it and you think, fucking hell, this was all in my head when I did it. And
oh, you absolutely have to measure. I know you spend ages measuring,
but
while
even
I'm
then,
doing real work.
You don't measure where each one is. You measure where the key point is.
Yeah, where the gap
So
is.
we know where that downlight is going, and then we know how far away that downlight is from the next one, and how far away it is from this one. I think
If you get your measurements wrong, you move back towards joists.
Yeah, it's 120 centimeters square either way, so we should be okay. You just got to get that key downlight right, because everything else then relies upon it.
Measured from there, relative.
We've got our dining cable, which I've got sort of spray painted here, and is very messily just strung
Well,
up
it's
there.
got to be loose, hasn't it?
It has, because
don't know which bit of it.
we're going to have to drill a keyhole in there at some point and then fish that down. And you can't put in a big hole where you can get your hand in and grab it by the pussy.
No, it's going to be a little,
as Donald Trump would.
little sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Amen.
it's a fingerable hole,
Yes,
not a fistable hole.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do believe it's beer o'clock. That's beer.
It's beer. Well, no, I can't. I've got gout. Can't have beer.
It's all that pork drinking and meat eating. Been eating people's meat now.
I do like some meat. I do like some meat. I can't eat it anymore. No. I got to eat chicken. That's all I can have. Can't even have fish, and I love fish.
You could be vegan, a vegan
Fuck
wanker.
off. Fuck off, vegan. I had a sausage and bacon batch the other day. Oh, and it was great. And I didn't get gout from it. So.
Batch is a very Coventry thing, isn't it? Who else says batch? I know Birmingham say cob, and a lot of places say roll. Where are you from, Pete?
Me?
Yeah, Southern.
What do you call a sausage, bacon and egg in bread? What do you call it? Bat.
A bat. He's a fucking bat man, not cob.
Nah, that's Brummy, isn't it?
It's a Birmingham wanker, isn't it?
Yeah, I want a cob.
Cob off. Here we are for some kitchen. It's not second fix, it's not first fix, but somewhere in between, isn't it?
Mid-fix.
Mid-fix. I like that. Mid-fix. Some kitchen mid-fix where we are going to mark up and hopefully retrieve our downlight drops. But yeah, I'm not convinced that my notes and measurements were...
You never are, but it usually works out.
particularly diligent at the time that they were scoring. You know what it's like, you get to the end of the day and you're pulling in first fix and you think, oh, the last thing I want to do is start pissing around with a tape measure and a laser measure, recording where everything is. Yeah, sometimes I'll do it a bit half-assed. We do have a
photographic
plumber
evidence
on site doing some plumbing stuff. Yeah, the photographs never quite reveal all though, do they? So yes, we are working around a plumber who is...
What are you doing? You chewing tobacco or something?
That's what you have to do when you mention especially a checker trade plumber. I mean, for fuck's sake. How desperate must you be to be on checker trade? I know it works for some, but... Anyway, we're going to mark up, cut some holes, hopefully find some wires. The floor is down and drying at an incredibly slow rate, and then that stops anything else from happening at this time. Do you want to see my road find? check out my road finder. We were driving along the other day and I spotted that in the road and thought, why, that looks like an LED torch. And sure enough, it is. Proper mechanic's torch, that, isn't it, Nigel? As you can probably tell by the fact it's fucking filthy. Magnetic? Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's filthy.
If anyone in Whitnash, any mechanics in Whitnash have lost their torch, end of June, start of July, then yes, we have.
Unless we get a free MOT.
I've got the van booked in actually, week after next for some work. Try and stop the brakes from squealing quite so badly. The brake light came on months ago, the brake warning light. But I found that if you just left it, it went off again. So I don't know if the bulb just eventually burnt out or what. I probably shouldn't say that because I'll probably have a crash now on camera and everybody will be going, fucking hell, this should never have been on the road in the first place. Dodgy bastard. Well, there's a familiar sight. I don't know if I've shown this from the outside yet. Let's get some views from the outside. If you're on Threads, you might have seen it on Threads because I posted it there when I was here the other day for drinky poos with Hillary. I like it. I like the modern look, the clean lines. That's a great skylight there, isn't it? This floor is very deeply filled to the point where I think they said something like it takes 1 millimetre per day to dry completely through, and it's about 50 mil deep or something. That's just the skim or whatever on top of the insulation beneath. I don't know, I wasn't here when that happened. But we should have cut some fucking floor boxes in before that all went down. Kind of forgot about that. And now there's underfloor heating under here as well, so we're going to put some kind of solution in this corner here because we can't bring anything forward because of the heating pipes. And it may have to be a surface mount solution rather than something that's embedded. I'll tell you what's nice, just seeing a job that's being done properly anyway, because we've been working on one recently that I put some pictures on, I think both Twitter and Threads, where, it's just fucking dreadful, isn't it? We've gone to all the effort to cut in new accessories and then the homeowner has simply botched it.
Absolutely.
Absolute amateur hour filling, fucking paint everywhere, accessories that are now sort of slumped into the wall.
Just fitted brand new white plates and painter comes along and goes,
You can't even call him a painter.
Well, he painted.
He threw paint around where paint shouldn't have been.
Even rough chased
we were saying on Threads, it would have been a neater job and a cheaper job had we surface mounted everything, just ran trunking down the wall to surface mount mattresses.
I think you're losing credibility. Threads.
I don't think I had credibility.
I think Threads will kill any credibility you might have.
Don't have any. Doesn't matter. We've got the Velux control to put it there. I keep calling it a Velux. I don't know if it is actually a Velux. It might be like calling a vacuum cleaner a Hoover. For all I know, that's the fucking Dyson of skylight openings.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we've been given a control that we're going to put there. It's a touch control. So yeah, that's going to work up there, is it? But apparently it's got a remote control, so that's all right. Got no instructions. We never had any instructions for any of this, so there's no point in a second guessing. It's like the underfloor heating. The plumber's come along today going, where's my 3-core from here, which needs to be over there? Which no one ever asked us to put a fucking 3-core in, mate. Yeah, he's going to have to put in a wireless controller now. Yeah. But, you know, if nobody tells us where they want cables, then we can't be expected to be the complete meisters. Oh, it's that fucking dog again. Oh, I hate dogs. Right, so I'm going to get the laser up and start marking some of this bullshit out according to my measurements. Nigel, pull your cock out of that dog's arse, you dirty bastard. Nigel lying down on the job, as per usual. But with the Bosch Professional. Can't afford a green laser, can we, Nigel? No, so has to be red. But we think we've got everything lined up where it needs to be. We've got lights that are 120 centimetres apart. It would be great if they were square to the space going down here, but the woodwork behind befuddles us, prevents us from getting things always where they would aesthetically perhaps look. And you've got to remember that this is a wooden grid behind here. It's not just a joist layout one way or another. This is going one way and the other way.
Yes.
So we are rather limited in where we can place downlights, and we were right down the middle of that space. We put in a whole grid of downlights. We marked everything up. Hopefully our marks are well away from any woodwork. It's picked up by the joist magnet. Yes, yes. Should be safe. What can go wrong? We've marked out where the island is going. It's quite a long island. Manhattan style. What are we talking? Do we say it was 3 meters long? Yeah. So 90 centimeters by 3 meters. It's a fairly big old space. And we've just been told they want pendant lights over the island, which wasn't part of the original plan. We did pull in a separate cable for a pendant light over a dining table. That was part of the plan. But now they're saying they don't want a pendant light over the dining table, they want a pendant light over the island, or 3 pendant lights over the island. However, I rather fancy our chances of being able to get a rod in, grab that cable that was meant for this part of the room, where the dining table was going to go, and hoik it over along the grid. Either it's doable or it tint. And which is
One or two, but
fucking noisy plumber. Noisy plumber.
Right noisy.
Yes. We disapprove of noisy plumberage. Again, it would be nice if our pathway of lights were central to this space, but once again, woodwork defeats us. So we're having to offset them, but you know, it's not too bad, it's not too bad. In here in the utility room, we're going central to the doorway because there's going to be units on that side. We still need to mark those, we should do that now, shouldn't we, so they're done. And then it's time to start cutting. And that's the point where you drill hole number 1, cocksure that you've got your measurement in the right place, only to hit a fuck off joist or something.
Yeah, trim the edge of the joist.
And then you know all your other measurements are wrong.
Yeah.
And you've got a repair job to do. So we'll break out the camera once we reach our cocksure position. In moments, it's time for cocksuredness. This is our key position that we based all our measurements off. So if this is wrong, then
We go home.
we do. We go to the pub.
This is like I go punching hard from here.
76mm hole saw. What I like about a 76mm hole saw is you can get your fist in there.
You can only just.
Reminds me of your rectum. Should be wearing a mask, really.
Why, you got a foo? Oh, not a foo, a dade.
Even so. Don't you just love it
That's lovely.
when a plan comes together?
That's
Sarge,
lovely.
mutual. Presumably this is what we're putting in. Not that we've got any particular hard-on for Aurora, it's just that it's what cities sell, isn't it? We used to prefer the ELD downlights, what they used to make. They were quite nice, but I think cities went for these because they have interchangeable bezels, and therefore they don't need to keep a great array of stock cans with different colours and shit. Go for a GU10. Not fans of integrated. We have used them on this very job in the past, haven't we? Integrated. Sometimes when you've got limited
they're great
room to play with.
You need a short can.
But this will allow us to dictate what lamps get used, and we can make sure something decent, i.e. not Philips, go in place. Probably we tend to favour like your Megamans and Fusions these days, don't you?
Yes.
Got a lot of time for Fusion. CEF only brand, but they seem to actually be quite robust. So our key position has played out. Again, not central to the feature, but what can you do when you're presented with a grid of woodwork where the woodwork is exactly where you would ideally like to place a downlight for aesthetic reasons? Then, you know.
Then you love getting the spring back in.
So nice that the spring's off and now he's regretting it.
Well, I didn't want to damage the ceiling. Put it in and taking it out.
What an asshole. We don't like him, do we, viewers? No, we don't.
Oh,
I believe we have 17 holes to cut. It's 20. Oh, it's 10 past 11. It's 11:11 in fact. 17 holes to cut, and then we'll go and buy some downlights and start. Well, an easy afternoon of just plumbing in downlights and things. Eh, Mr. Marsh?
right.
It's a Wednesday. It's a warm day. We don't want to be busting a gut, do we, old man?
Never.
No, of course not. You know, I could fucking murder some alcohol. I really could. I haven't had any since Sunday, and I'm absolutely climbing the fucking walls here. I tell you what, Nige, just when you think it's going swimmingly, and it's going pretty swimmingly, you know, it's going pretty swimmingly. Our Velux stuff is going in. It's not a Velux, it's a Titan apparently. So if it's better in watery conditions than other Titan things. Lights are going in, no problem at all getting these lights in. We even managed to, or I should say Nigel even managed, with the aid of the super rod cable tongue, even managed to relocate what was going to be the lighting over the dining table to the island position. And then, just as we pulled back the sticky back plastic to reveal the switch drop, we found instead a brick sitting in its place.
Yes.
So much talk in the past hour and a half between us, the builder, and the homeowner as to why there was a brick where there used to be a light switch. And the reason why we were reusing the switch position is because there's no other way for us to get new cabling in that wall. So we had to reutilise the switch drops that were there. Yes, they're black and red, but they tested out okay. And yes, it's not ideal to use older cabling. If you have the opportunity to pull in wholly new stuff, but you're not going to get a new cable up that wall. It is what it is. So we rejunctioned it all. And the builder insisted that he hadn't cut any cables. I don't cut cables. Well, they were all wagoed off inside the knockout box that were in that wall. So, and they're all cut now. So, you know, someone's come along and done a choppity chop. And it's partly our fault because there were other services in this wall, like this here. There used to be a socket there, and he's done a diligent job of facing that off to get rid of it. There's other stuff over there which we haven't looked at, but no doubt will look the same. So he did a good job of bricking that up to make it look like it was never there. The trouble is, it was still supposed to be there. That was our switch drop, both for the dining room light next door, which comes into here as a legacy lighting connection, and also for us to place a dimmer on. We're putting kinetic switching in elsewhere, aren't we, just for the basic, just to save having to pull cables around because we can't work with walls like this. So we're using kinetic switching for a lot of it. But this was one where there was a switch drop already present. All we had to do was junction a new cable off it to go to where we needed it to be. The junctioning is, of course, above the ceiling. And reutilise that job for a hardwired dimmer. So we were a bit slow to find our position was no longer available. So cue the big boy, bad boy cable tracer. Nigel excavated the brick and we found a bunch of chopped off cables. That one there is going off to the switch next door and is the switch drop for the dining room. So we're going to have to extend that. That single is no longer doing anything at all. And then you've got two twin unearths, one of which is the switch drop or the switch return for the dining room, which needs to join onto that cable that's been cut there. And the other one is our basic switch drop for what is now going to be the island lights. The other end of this cable, which I have my KTS 1625 hanging off, because we would, again, as well as using the CA tone tracer, we've also been using an MFT just to confirm that we have got continuity throughout. And just to show you this tone tracer in action, if I put that near your nuts, does it go off? Near your metal testicles? Oh, it does. How do we know that's the cable going to our dining room light? Well, as you can see, we're putting out a particular tone. You can set different tone frequencies so you can test out different cables. If I take a wander to the dining room with my receiving end, there's our dining room ligget. And there's the twin and earth. That's not our work, by the way. That's legacy. That's always been there. Well, been there since goodness knows when. Red and black cable. So been there for 20 odd years or more. perhaps a long time more. But that came through to the other side, and we've made diligent efforts to make sure it remained through to the other side and remained going through to that switch, because we knew we were going to have to get it live again one day. Well, I put my doodly dardly up there. We're getting a fine, strong signal. Let me turn on the backlight for you. I'll name that tune in one. That tune is Success, Motherfucker. Give us a wave, you old git. Useless. So, yes, puckered up sphincters for a little while. Sphincters were all a little bit tightened, shall we say. Tightened sphincters, wouldn't you say, Mr. Mark?
Yes, yes.
But we may now release our sphincters.
Yes, I already did.
Oh, no. I wonder what that smell was. I thought it was the drains. But we were concerned for a while there that someone had just come along and whipped them all off. And so long as nobody comes along in the meantime and whips them all off, I think what we'll do is maybe we'll pop back tomorrow with young Tom. Young Tom? Young man. Oh, he is a young man. And perhaps look to get that secured in some kind of way. I think we're going to have to sort of pack it out at the back, maybe cement in a deep box, something like that. Get the switch off the other side and get a new feet of that. Junction that into there. I can't remember how this is wired now.
Oh, okay.
Whether that's... these are just straight switch drops now, aren't they? That's a switch drop for one, that's a switch drop for the other, that's doing fuck all. So maybe we'll come and make good that tomorrow so we can get the power on, because he wants to be able to get his Titan window able to open and close. And again, this is a bit funny, this thing, because the controls for opening and closing it are up there. Well, that's fucking handy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we put that up there originally, so that's where the building is.
Well, we just put a supply up there. Nobody told us anything about how it was going to be controlled. Nobody seemed to know at the time, so it doesn't matter because it's got a remote control. But I think that's designed really to be down here, isn't it? If someone had told us anything at all about it, given us any technical detail and said it's a 24-volt motor, it just needs a 2-core cable from up there down to here where a controller can sit, then obviously we'd have put that in. But all we had was they need power up there for an electric window. So power they got, but a ridiculous arrangement where the switching device is now up there. What the fuck do I know about a Titan window? I never even fucking heard of them.
Well, they've got a remote control.
They've got a remote control. What more do you want?
Yeah.
Hey, what more do you want? You got an ant on that. An ant, but no deck. We're thinking now of packing that out, cementing it, and leaving a half brick to be inserted either side for making good, which we're not responsible for. That someone else is going to do. Nice. Yeah. Who's this? He's standing right by. They make them tall these days, don't they? Look at this. Or are we just short?
Yes.
Young Tom is here with us for some working experience.
Again. We're trying to pull him off.
The thing is, this isn't the first time we filmed you, is it, Tom? I've had the camera out twice before, and both times those videos didn't come to anything. So you are a bit of a jinx, and maybe you'll sing this for us today. We've got the young man on the job, Nige.
Young man.
Young man.
What do you think?
Young man. Oh, Hillary's here with a picture of cats. Does that say Stalin on it? Oh, yes, yeah, she's going to like that, yeah.
Do you think she'll like it?
Mm-hmm. I can just see that taking pride of place in the downstairs WC.
Stalin's famous picture of cats. Well, you've got a tortoiseshell one, haven't you?
We have two.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, there you go. Think it's all right?
Yeah, it's a nice picture of cats, yeah. She'll like that.
Yeah. We're not going to the obvious joke, are we?
The pussy joke.
We missed out on some pussy jokes there, didn't we? How you doing, young man? Oh, the young man's got it through in there. Very nice, very nice. It is isolated. We have run through safe isolation briefly. Briefly, yeah. You may have a go with the torque screwdriver. Tightening the screw, young man.
Just noticed you stole my seat.
Yeah, I've got to. I'm not as tall as the young man, so I've got to climb up to terminate this cable. We're going to fit an adaptable box by where that Sky Abomination is. Because this they can face off around that then, can't they? And then this will all be enclosed within the cupboard. And then this adaptable box can house our kinetic receivers. Success. Jolly good. And natural. And natural. What do you think about the skylight, ladies?
It's great. Well, I'm just hoping it cools it down because it has been so like an oven in here.
Well, this is it. Open your flaps and let the hot air out.
Thanks, Dave. I've always said that. Very important.
I got rid of them. You talk about shelves in the alcove, are you, where the spider couldn't use?
I'm thinking, Dave, I'm thinking of putting brick wallpaper in here.
Brick wallpaper.
Inside the cupboard, yeah. What do you think to sort of match that? Because you know, there's 2 glazed panels in the door.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just because it was naff in the 80s doesn't mean you can't do it now,
it's really trendy now. And anyway, people just think it's this. They'll think it's proper brick.
You're not really putting brick wallpaper up, are you?
I might. It's inside the cupboard with things in front of it. It's just the background. Why do you not like brick?
No, okay. No, I can see that there may be a certain aesthetic.
Aesthetically, Dave, you and I are never going to be on the same page.
No. We're colour changing lights. That's what you want in there.
Yeah, exactly.
A disco ball. I know it looks like a horrendous mess at the moment, but that is all been tested and is working again. We've uncocked what the builder cocked. Cock was involved. That's the best thing you can say about that. So as far as our mid-fix goes, we'll shove some of them cables back up there. We're just going to find the smoke alarm in here and then we can go to McDonald's. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Right.
Obviously Nigel's taken down the smoke alarm measurement incorrectly and is now having to use the super rod, super cam to try and hook the cable to get him out of trouble. Oh, that's the trouble, isn't it? You get the end hooked, but you've just got no...
Yeah, super rod. Up here. Super rod. We want something that can grip. Yeah? Grip it.
Or invent a cable magnet, if you would, if you'd be so kind.
A copper magnet. Yeah.
Copper magnet. I look forward to seeing that at the next elect show. I think we have to resort to the fucking useful wire, Nigel, because we might have a better chance of getting a tighter hook over it. But don't worry, I'm sure I can extricate Nigel from his mistakes.
You see how I say nothing? Because he's a dickhead. He's the man with the book with the measures. I'm just the man who sticks a rod in the hole.
Did you write a measurement down?
No, I didn't.
Well, there you go then. I rest my case.
Did you write a measurement down?
Come on, this is holding my McDonald's time.
Did you write a measurement? You did, didn't you? And your measurement said, oh, it's here. When it's there.
Well, to be fair, my lateral measurement was correct. It's just it's in the wrong cavity. Big man Dan on site with us today as we come to fit our floor socket solutions. Very hard to find a floor socket solution that will work in the space that we've got, which is basically the space where Nigel has drawn a penis. I'm going to have to take those cables away from the steel wing wire to a box that sits there so that there's a socket, because where else are you going to put a socket where it's all glass and steel? So we're just going to break out the floor and do that to Dan. Dan Sparky in Training is with us.
Yep. Sparky in Training.
Instagram, yeah. Are you on other social media accounts? You're on the threads with all the kids?
Oh, I say
No.
You're on the Twitter, well, it's not called Twitter anymore.
X.
Brand X.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
Genius.
Can't remember what my name is on there.
How can you take a global recognised unique brand and call it Brand X
I'd have called
and
it
expect
acne.
it to stand out? You fucking donut, Elon. But here we are. What is it now? 1st of August. Might be your last visit here, Nige.
Might be.
Will you ever get to see it completed? Because by the time this goes
I'll
out,
watch YouTube.
he will be gone.
I will. I'm off. Saying goodbye. Bye.
We've already said it on another video.
Have I?
We're going to done by the time this goes
Oh,
out.
right, okay.
Must record a little shit chat before the end of the month. Just
Yeah.
announcing that.
Yes. Okay. See ya.
Yeah. So at the moment, I'm just doing all the work because I've got to get the value for money out of him while I can. Not that I pay him any money, which is why he's leaving. We're going to fit these things and then leave it to the tiler to decide whether he takes them off and or towns around them or does whatever. Basically, we're making it his problem because that's the kind of assholes we are.
Depends how many fixings you can get in there.
Yeah. You probably only need a couple of screws toward the sort of front section, really, don't you? Especially if it ends up getting tiled around, it'll be secure enough.
Yeah.
But if we put a black socket on those, I think, we'll get away with it. It'll tie in with the metalwork of the windows. There's a big fat bumblebee there, Nige. Try not to get stung.
Yeah, there's a dead one back there. Can I drill yet?
Make it so. God, I tell you what, I'm sweating like a paedophile in a playground here. I haven't done all this work while these two stand around fiddling with their willies. But, well, there we go. For what it's worth. The tiler's probably just going to take them off and just...
Bung them back.
Yeah.
Just leave them lying there.
Leave them lying around. And then we'll have to drill through the tiles again. But hopefully he'll either tile around them, which ought to be okay, I think. Depends on the thickness of the
They look
tiles.
like they got the depth. It depends on his adhesive and tile depth.
Yeah. But it's an solution.
I think he's going to have to put them on top, otherwise you won't get...
Well, I kind of hope that he, re-drills it, because sometimes drilling tiles is a fucking pain in the arse. Yeah. Poor old Dan, he's come out with some electrical shenanigans today. And
knocking holes in things.
Yeah, what we've done today is knock holes in things. But then, that's it, isn't it? It's mechanics most of the time. Yeah. Unfortunately. Right, well, that's all we've got to do here today. It's 12:30. I suggest we go down the Hungry Hoss and have a brew.
Yeah.
What's your poison, Dan?
Water.
What an asshole.
Or Dr. Pepper. I'm a bit keen on Dr. Pepper, but...
Well, unless there's a Jack Daniels thrown in with it, then I'm out. The floor people have been in and done the floor. And of course they've taken off our boxes that we screwed on. And we've got to now try and drill these towers to re-secure them. I don't think we're going to be terribly successful with that. We've got to make sure we don't hit our own cables. Don't know if we've got tile drills that'll do this, do we, Mr. Marsh?
We don't.
We can but try.
Yeah.
You've had a crack at different drill bits on the tile, haven't you, Nige?
Yeah, it's got to be that stupid diamond one.
Okay, well, as you said earlier, perhaps if we do it quite shallow with some short screws, just to...
Well, I'll stick a bit of tape around that for the length of a screw.
We could have got this circuit live today, potentially, but we can't get any black sockets from anywhere. No one's got black sockets on the shelf. So I've had to order them in.
I do want to see this length.
Order in from Screwfix. Everything's fucking next day in Screwfix now, and Toolstation. They used to be quite handy in a push when you wanted something that traditional wholesalers lacked. But now everything seems to be, if it's not our own brand piece of shit that you don't want, then it's next day.
Yeah.
So we hardly ever use them anymore. They can fuck off and all. I'm in a bad mood today, and it's not getting any better. It's only 1:30. We're going to run out of things to do here quite soon. Now just sticking on a socket here, then we can get rid of this dirty arse contractor's socket that's been hanging around since the beginning of the year when we first put temporary power in. The builder's written that on it. Fuck with electrical contractor. Bastard. So that can go. The RCBO that's on will form our new circuit for out here. In fact, because we haven't got our black sockets yet, I'm going to have to stick some connectors on there. It's switching time. We're quite good at these little kinetic things. What we've done, we put 3 receivers up because we didn't really want to pull switch cables everywhere around here. Lazy. And also, it's not practical in some cases. For example, a switch's got to go on the wall there. You're not chasing that in, are you? That's not happening. But these things... I can never see where this fucking camera's pointing. Yeah, not a bad job. You can pair several switches to the same receiver. So for example, for the undercab lights, which aren't actually in yet, if I hold that down for 3 seconds, it'll put it into pairing mode. And then Nigel, middle switch if you would please. And again. And there you go. That's now switching on and off. Would you like to switch that off, Nigel? Jolly good show. Marvellous stuff. So there's no wiring to this switch plate at all. It's just 3 MK grid style. Yeah, doodads, and we'll stick a white plate over that. It's supposed to have a 2-gang one for the switch over here because that's a hybrid switch. We have a hardwired V-Pro dimmer in there. That's going to be for the island lights when they go in. And then we've got the kinetic for controlling these lights. So there we go, the lights are on. The lights are on in here as well. They do work very well, these kinetic ranges. It's only TLC who sell them. Now, obviously you can get different brands from elsewhere. Cities do NRJ ones. They're all right. I find their switches a bit plasticky, nasticky, and
I like these modular.
they do the modular, the NRJ, but I don't know. I find them a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
So we use them in a push just because they are available over the counter, but we like the kinetic stuff. Now I've just been busy putting some of the white plate stuff on, probably wonkily.
Hopefully, because it's your problem.
While we're moaning about people, Hager, always moaning about Hager. We do like the Hager Solicitor range of accessories, but this, look at that. That's 2 of them we've had now, where the left-hand socket has some kind of mechanical fault. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Quite recently.
Yeah, both from CEF, so I don't know if they've got a Duff batch or something, but we just bought that today, didn't we? That's one of them, straight out of the box, new one. So you have to change that socket out now. But it goes to show, you know, that you've got to check both sides of your outlets when you're doing your testing.
Yep. Otherwise I'd better get another one off the van.
Yes. I'm afraid so.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, all our tests pass for both our new cooker circuit, our new socket circuit, our new lighting circuit. Obviously, I think we showed earlier in the video us doing a test when the wiring first went in. We sort of wagered it all off, did the IR at 500 volts and all that shit. And now that the accessories are on, we've just retested and IR'd at 250 volts. Everything is peachy. It's always a big concern when you've got wiring under the floor and monkeys are coming in to put a floor down that, you know, they're going to potentially disturb something, but no, it seems to be okay. Seems to be A-okay, motherfuckers. Oh, check out this. Hilary gave me some cherry tomatoes and, look, this one looks like a little miniature pair of bollocks. Isn't that rather marvellous?
First mulberry I've ever had, they're nice.
I made 3 bottles of mulberry gin last year.
Ah. Banana mushy, aren't they?
Sorry?
They
They're
are a
very
bit
juicy.
messy.
You have to swallow quickly, otherwise you'll spit.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, it's like a bit like a blood bath. They're quite messy. Do you want another one?
No, yep, I'll pass, thank you. No, it was quite tasty, quite tasty.
They're good, aren't they? There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah. You can go and pick some if you want. It's just that it's a filthy job that leaves you looking like you've been butchered.
Like the wife in the shower.
Yeah.
She dyes her hair red every time she goes in the shower.
I thought you were inferring to...
Yeah, I wonder where that was going.
Like
Then.
a murder
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
You hear that? Silence. Aside from an annoying buzzy fly. 30th of August, first day on the tools, sans Nigel. He's now gone to his new life, so I'm here on my own and peace and quiet, the tranquility of this lovely late summer morning. Not much to do here today. Going to get the undercab strips in place. That one's already been soldered on. I've got to glue these on. I've said this before, I find that you have to super glue them on. No matter what 3M backing these things claim to have, they never stay up. There's also this bad boy to plumb in. We've got the circuit live for that, so just needs the cable connecting up. I think this visit we'll see all that done, and then there'll be one more just to get the smoke alarm and island lights up. We are nearly done, proper done, finished done. I say we, it's only me here. There's no we anymore, just the royal we. End of a quick half day, it's lunchtime, and the cabinet lights are working. Lovely. The cooker hood is in and on. Lovely. The range cooker is on. Someone managed to set the clock on that. I can never figure out how to set the clocks on those things. I expect they've got to get the worktop templated and fitted. That's the only thing holding things up now. So, I don't know. Might be back to do the lights sooner. We'll see. But I think one more visit on that will be the end of the Manor House. I don't know what they're going to concentrate on next. It's been such a big project over the past 4 years. That now that it's all come to an end, what on earth are they going to do with their time?
Hello.
Well, this is different. We had a few faces in this video. It started with Nige all those years ago, and it's ending with Linda, which aesthetically is an improvement, if nothing else. But this should be our final visit here, just to show you around the finished shebang.
But
Speaking of shebangs,
we'll be back again for something else, no doubt. Hey?
maybe. Who knows?
This has been going on for years.
It has. 2019 this started.
It's a beautiful, beautiful house, though, eh?
Be nice if we can get inside.
I remember crawling under here. I remember being up Nigel's bum. Do you remember the first day in July 21?
You'd think I'd remember that.
We were passing cables.
Jack off to it.
Passing cables between my legs to Nigel between that. We were earthing under.
You sure it was a cable you were grabbing between his legs? You asked him, pull it forward, pull it backwards, pull it forward, pull it back. Dirty boy,
But
Nigel.
you know that little... The coal house, wasn't it a coal?
Yeah,
He crawled in first.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I crawled behind.
And I stayed outside like a
You
sensible
were feeding
person.
cable from behind. I won't take it one any further.
I'm not sure anybody's in. Well, this is a bust, isn't it?
Did you tell them you were coming?
Yeah, yeah.
It's too early though. I told you we should have sat longer at the Hungry Horse.
Should we go back there?
Yeah.
What do you think, girl?
I think it's beautiful. I can't believe how much you've done, or how much has been done since I was here last year, 22.
What was it like when you were last here? Was it the old
The old
kitchen still? Oh, okay, yes. Do you like the skylight?
It's beautiful.
The Titan window, apparently.
The Titan?
That's the brand, apparently. I noticed that this video is pretty heavy on a couple of things, including this light switch, which the builder chopped the wires to and then claimed ignorance of, but we got that back in place. This is the first time I've seen it with the brickwork reinstated.
It's great, eh?
Lizzie was talking about having a brick backdrop in that cupboard, but it looks like she didn't bother. We do have the option still of putting lights in that cupboard because we ran a feed over to there. Oh, there's a handsome chap.
I'm thinking you should go to Specsavers, David.
Got our socket down there. Let's have a look at these sockets as well, because we also talked a lot about these corner sockets, which were fun and games to get in. But there you go, we went for
So look. Oh, wow.
a black plate on a surface mount solution there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, got one in
Never
the
seen those.
other corner as well there. But yeah, they did a nice job. I can't say I'm a fan of the tiles myself personally. I'm certainly not a fan of the fact that the white plate accessories have been grouted into the tiles, which is a no. Because if we ever get a problem with these accessories, we can't get them out. It should be like that one over there where the accessory is mounted onto the tile. Whenever we're doing kitchens and the people say, oh, my tiler's coming, and we always say, make sure your tiler, asshole that he doubtless is, A, cuts the tiles to the size of the back box and doesn't leave any overlap that's going to get in the way of our screws, and B, doesn't grout the fucking accessories into the tiles, because then we can't get them off again if we ever need to without making a bit of a mess of things. So obviously
And we've already been...
the message was received over there, but not over here.
There.
The utilitoire. This is the utility space. Oh, there was only one left.
Yeah.
Someone's been on the Stella.
Shut up.
We've still got our... It still looks fairly rough and ready in here. The cupboard where the facilities come from. But, you know, Jesus, that's a lot of circuits, isn't it? There's our box containing the kinetic receivers. It's fine, it's fine. Doesn't need to look pretty if it's behind cupboard doors, does it? We were never quite sure exactly what they were going to do here, so it was all just sort of bunged on the wall. I expected them to board it all out. I thought that this box would end up being sort of sunk into a plasterboard wall or whatever, but in the end they kept it as a cupboard. Fine.
Maybe we should fit some AFDDs here.
Maybe not. It all worked out in the end. We would show you from the outside, but it's pissing it down. We've got video of the outside. Would you say that this is in keeping with the building, or?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, the extension itself, some people might say, including the builder who put it in, was like, I don't know about this, a big glass box on an old building.
No, but it's letting you let the garden in.
Yeah, I mean,
think that's...
when you compare it to that shitty old kitchen that was here before, I think they done all right.
Stunning out there.
I think we are done.
Yes, you always say that and then you're back again.
We will be back again because we've just been looking at another job here, which we might film.
Home time, pub time.
How did you know? Fuck off, we're off to the pub.